Don't leave your family a mess. Your business succession plan starts here. Hey everyone, I'm Oliver Bogner, managing partner of the Advisory Investment Bank. I'm a 2 times Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree, 2 times Inc. 5000 CEO, and I've built and sold 5 different companies over the last 15 years that I've sold to my competition, strategics, private equity firms. I've used the smartest Wall Street investment banks to help sell my businesses. And now I'm bringing that same level of Wall Street sophistication to Main Street owner operators. So today's topic is one that most founders avoid until it's too late, your succession plan, or sometimes the lack of one. And I want to be blunt. If something happened to you tomorrow, your family would have no idea what to do with your business. That's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And today I'm going to help you fix it. And this topic really does have a deep place in my heart. It's part of my entrepreneurial journey. My first business I got thrown into when I was 17 years old. My dad had 2 strokes and heart failure and had no succession plan. My mom couldn't take it over, and I got thrown into the center as a 17-year-old, taking over my dad's business. I dropped out of traditional high school. I did online high school. I ended up going to college via night school. But I got thrown into the center of my dad's business. Fortunately, I guess I figured it out. I was street smart enough to figure out how to turn it around and keep it running. And ultimately, 5 years after I took over, we were able to sell it to a much larger media company. But here's the truth that no business owner wants to face. I've now worked with hundreds of owners, and here's the pattern, just like my dad, right? You've been the backbone of your company for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You carry everything in your head: client relationships, pricing, ops, payroll, vision. But ask yourself, if you weren't here, what happens? Most families, and I experienced this firsthand, have no idea how to run the business, don't know the financials, don't know who to call, don't know which buyers are reputable, don't know your wishes, don't know how much the business is worth, don't know how to keep the company from burning down. The saddest part, I've seen families lose millions because the founder never put a plan in place. This is why succession planning matters, not just for you, but for the people you love. And founders put this off. Owners avoid succession planning for 4 reasons. Number 1, I'm not ready to retire. Number 2, my kids might take over someday. Number 3, I'm too busy running the business. Number 4, thinking about death or disability is a very uncomfortable topic. I get it. My dad did not expect to have 2 strokes and heart failure. Never expected it in a million years. Healthy guy, barely 50, right? But succession isn't about retiring. It's about protecting your family, your employees, and the wealth you spent your life building. And if you're over 50 or the business relies heavily on you, succession isn't optional, it's essential. So here's what actually happens without a plan. I've been called into these situations where a founder unexpectedly passed away or became medically unable to operate. And here's what happens without that plan. Revenue drops instantly. Employees panic and start to leave and look for new jobs. Key managers leave. Clients lose confidence. Private equity groups swoop in with a low ball offer, and I'm talking low ball. Opportunistic competitors call your spouse. Banks pressure you on the money that you owe. Estate issues get really messy. Your family freezes, overwhelmed, and unprepared. And this is not what you want for them. The good news, a succession plan doesn't have to be complicated, but it does need to be intentional. So here's what a real succession plan looks like. Here's the framework we use at the Advisory Investment Bank to help founders build real succession protection. Step 1, document the essentials. Your family needs to know who your attorney is, who your CPA is, where the financials are stored, what are the debt obligations, who are your key managers, who to call in an emergency, your login information and systems access, your top customers and contracts, and ideally, have you started working with an investment banker? This is the foundation. Step 2, identify your transition options. There really are only 3 potential outcomes. 1, sell the business. 2, transition the business to a family member. 3, transition to a key member. Most owners think their kids want the business, but 70% of second-generation heirs have no interest in running their parents' business. You've really got to know the reality. When comes time and something happens and your kids are thrown into needing to run it, most of them don't want to run it. I didn't have an interest in running my dad's business. I got thrown into it, and it was what I had to do to keep my family up and running. So here's what you really got to understand about succession planning. You've got to figure out the emergency plan. This is the most overlooked part. If something happens tomorrow, who runs the next Monday morning meeting? A succession plan must include interim leader, instructions for your spouse, instructions for your managers, who to call for evaluation and sale, who is your investment bank that you're working with, what are the wishes if a sale is needed. This prevents chaos, and we can make it seamless. Step 4, you really got to know your number. What's the business worth? How much do you need to retire? What is your family going to need if you're gone? And if you don't know your valuation annually, you're flying blind. You should be talking to an investment banker every single year to understand what's happening in your market, what the business would be valued at. You got to have a conversation sooner than later. Step 5, prepare the business to run without you. The less dependent the business is on the owner, the more valuable it becomes. This is part of our strategy to really get business valuations up. Buyers pay premiums when your managers run the day-to-day, when your financials are clean, when your processes are documented, when the relationships are really spread across the team, when you work on the business, not in it. So succession planning is actually the same as valuation planning. It's almost identical. So this is so urgent because we're in the middle of a couple things happening. We're in the middle of the largest transfer of small business ownership ever in American history. The aging of the essential service industry. Owners are aging every single day. We have the highest buyer demand in the history of the industry. And valuations are not going to stay this high forever. So if you don't have a plan, you just leave stress to your family. You leave money on the table. You leave your employees confused. You leave your legacy vulnerable. Here's the harsh truth. Buyers do not pay premiums for chaos. Buyers do not pay premiums for chaos. Remember that. They pay premiums for clarity. Your succession plan, your valuation plan is your family's insurance policy. You've spent your entire life building your business. Please do not leave your family a mess. A succession plan is not about retiring. It's not about selling right now. It's not about giving up control. Sometimes we work with founders for years before they're actually willing or interested in talking to buyers and selling the business. Let's just have a conversation. It's about protecting what you built, preparing for the unexpected. So if you want help understanding the valuation, creating a real emergency succession roadmap, preparing your company to transition cleanly, or explore a sale now, in years, doesn't matter. We're here to be helpful. We're here to be a partner. Reach out. Oliver at theadvisoryib.com. This is all we do. This is what we get to do every single day. We are so privileged. We get to defend Main Street owner operators every single day and protect the families that they help exist for. So thanks again for watching the video. Really appreciate it. Feel free to reach out. We're looking forward to having a conversation.